So last year, about October, my daughter Danielle, who's 8 now, but she was 7 when these things were taking place. She was being bullied by another young girl in her classroom. And this had been going on since the beginning of the school year. And so I was very frustrated with it. I had talked to her teacher about different things we can do to try that would be helpful. And nothing seemed to work. Nothing was changing. She just continued to bully my daughter every single day. One day I was coming to the school to pick up the kids from the school at the end of the day. And as I was picking them up, the secretary told me that my daughter was in a nurse's office because she had been scratched. She had a long scratch on her face from the girl who had been bullying her. So at this point I was really frustrated. And then I went to continue to talk to the secretary, but she put up her finger like, hold up a second, because she was on the phone. And I didn't notice that she was on the phone at first because of the angle she was sitting. I couldn't see her holding the phone up to her ear. And so I said, okay. And so after she had gotten off the phone, she said, didn't you see that I was on the phone? Before I had even got a chance to respond, she said to me, you better stop playing with me if I scratch you in your face like that girl did your daughter. I was angry and furious, but God had froze me. It was like I couldn't say anything, I couldn't do anything, and the Lord just told me to get the children and to leave. But then when I came back to the school, I had set up a meeting with the principal. He contacted me the next day and he told me that she would be suspended for a while, and a few other things that was going to happen because of what she had done. And if she ever showed that attitude towards anybody else again, that she will be removed from that school and transferred to somewhere else. Immediately after that conversation, he said to me that I don't have to if I don't want to, but that she would like to talk to me. You know, at first I was a little hesitant, but I felt the Lord telling me that I really should give her a chance. Immediately when she came in, I seen on her face that she was sorrowful for her actions. And she came in the table, and the first thing she said was she's sorry. She said she's sorry about 5 times, and then tears started to warm up in her eyes, and she said to me that she really didn't realize what she said until after she had said it. It's like one of those things where you say something, and then you were like, wow, did I really say that? You know, she's actually glad that I came back and I told the principal about what had happened, and she's glad about the discipline that had taken place because of that. And I was like really shocked by her response. I was like, really? And she said, yeah, because that was a Friday when this had took place. And so that Sunday she went to church because she was a believer as well, which completely shocked me. But she was a believer, and she said that while she was in church, the Lord really spoken to her about the attitude of her heart and place that she needed to change. Once she said that, she just, you know, began crying, and then I consoled her, began hugging her and comforting her and telling her that it will be okay, that I forgive her for what she said, and that everything will be fine. And I believe what helped me to be ready for that day was the fact that one of the Bible verses that said that it's not flesh and blood that we fight against. I knew that even though she was reacting and acting that way towards me, it was because of something that she was struggling with in her. One way I believe that you can be ready to share the love of God or the love of Christ with someone else anytime you're faced with a situation like that is to remember what Christ did for you. You know, during those times where he was being persecuted and he was being spit on and he was being mocked and things like that, he never did anything back to them. When you're dealing with difficult situations, especially when someone is speaking badly against you or something like that, I would say, don't think about how you would want to deal with them or what you would want to do in that situation. Think about how God would want you to deal with them and what God would want you to do in that situation. Because a lot of times when you deal with things from the way that God sees it, it's usually more helpful. It might not always end the way that the things ended between me and this secretary, but God will honor the way that you handle it.
Prepare the way, prepare the way, prepare the way.